Welcome everyone. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. Alright, so for those of you wondering what this might be because you have no idea why you're here, this is about Dungeons and Dragons and a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So if this is not your thing, we're not changing our schedule, so you'll have to make do with it. For everyone else, if you're here because of one of our past episodes, well, welcome back. If you're new here because you've heard about this from a friend, from D&D Beyond, from Twitter, or just because it was suggested on you by the sorting algorithm of whatever platform you're using, well, welcome among us. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Also, thank you, algorithm.
So thank you, algorithm, depending on which side it is. But yeah, it's always good to know that the AI is on our side. Speaking of AI, as you can see, there's one person missing right now. Well, that's because he had unexpected car problems, the kind of which not everyone likes to talk about because it's slightly embarrassing. So we'll let him decide if he wants to talk about it or not. But he should be with us before the end, we hope. Both for us and for his ego. So he should be along in not too long, let's hope. Meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead with the resume of what has been happening for the last few episodes. So, back when they were all in the garden, happy to have succeeded their first ever bounty, surviving a monster that many believed that they had no chance of surviving, they decided to see, well, how they could become more prominent members of the garden. And audience, being a good dragonborn, went to this board on which there were quests and saw that a lot of people were taking several quests. Well, of course, he decided to take on several quests himself because he's a dragonborn. They don't do things halfway. So, took on many quests, one of which is this very quest that they are on right now, which consisted of investigating reports of a strange creature which had been sighted near a bridge between two lakes. A bridge which the party had already discovered, but never seen anything special there. So, unsure of what it was. Of course, the guardian only was interested in the knowledge of this creature. What was it? Why was it there? After all, they keep telling everyone that they are a scientific expedition, an exploration group, so they wanted to know more. But the rumor was also stating that this creature might have been attacking innocents, overturning fishing boats, scaring the life out of fishermen on the banks, piers, whatever they were using to fish to survive. So, party decided to investigate. They left. They made their way to the bridge where they had their first encounter with the creature. Which didn't go exactly as they wanted to. But, they survived, so not too bad. So they decided that they needed more information as they clearly weren't prepared for a fight with this creature. Still unsure of what it was as it remained hidden in the water. But they did find that they could talk to it. It just wasn't very talkative. They made their way back to the small village where the rumor had first been heard. They gathered a little bit of information. They knew that it had to do something. It was something about the improvised fishing village that this village constructed just before the winter, so they could have more food during the winter. Reports of this creature starting to appear while they were deconstructing the village. Didn't seem to have any pattern to its attack, except that it didn't like people fishing on the lake, but not everyone also. And there seemed to have been involvement from a female wizard wearing a purple long coat, and a druid who went to the lake and never came back. And that is the extent of all the information that they were able to gather. So they decided to go to the source and make their way to the shore of this lake. And this is where the episode ended last time, just as they were arriving to the shore of the northern half of the Twin Lakes. So, I see that we have just received word that our construct friend might be rebooting for a little while on the beach. So, Anvara, audience, and Raimi, as you approach the shore of the northern half of the Twin Lake, and you see Fisher, who seems to be stuck in a sentry mode cycle. What do you do?
Windows 10 is now updating.
We'll be here a bit.
I guess I'd probably turn to Rami and say, so do we want to just send your familiar into the water while we scout the edges? How do you best want to do this?
See, he thinks on it. I guess one good question would be like, what is about the scope of this lake in terms of like its sheer size, give or take?
Well, on a rowboat, it would probably take you most of the day to get from one side to the other. As far as walking distances... oh, I'm hearing echo. I'm hearing voice from someone's microphone. Oh. As for size, walk distance wise, it is about half a day to walk from one side of this lake to the other. So, from where you are on the shore, you most likely can't see the other side of the lake. But because you have been traveling from one side to the other, you know that it's about half a day of walk to get from one side to the other. So most likely, like I said, an entire day to traverse it by boat. And you don't know how deep it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so thinking on that... Because I get just trying to remember from last session. So like most of the like the attacks had like been concentrated for a bit, but then we're just kind of like all over the place.
Most of the sightings were near the bridge, but this could simply be because the creature has been traveling a lot to between the two half of the lakes, and it is a narrow point. So if it's trying to stay in the lake, it doesn't have much of a choice but to go through there when it's moving from one side to the other. As far as fishing boat goes, there doesn't seem to be a pattern. Some people have been able to just go fishing and nothing happened, and others, as soon as they cast their lure in the water, the boat got overturned, but no one got injured, as far as you know. And as far as you know, the only person who might have had trouble with this is the druid, which never came back.
Okay, so then, I guess Ravi is just going to or we've seen a map of like a bird's eye view of the lake, correct?
Yes, you do have a map of this, but I don't think you have the name of the village west of it on your map. But
Oh no,
it is
that part's fine. He's just looking
okay.
he just needs to make sure he's seen it once. So Ravi is just going to like minor illusion a vision of the map that's a bit more like that's like is more focused on the lake itself.
Okay.
He's going to grab a stick and he's going to kind of like look toward audience and basically like put up one claw or talon rather, and he's going to like sort of like move the stick along the perimeter of what would be the lake, and then he puts up two talons and puts it closer toward the center. It's like dragging it from the edge to the center.
Okay. So we're gonna skirt around, and then we're gonna go from that point to the center.
It's like, yeah, Raimi nods.
Okay.
Gotta watch our asses before we get in deep.
Fair. You definitely don't know what's going on, so gotta be careful.
With that, Raimi is going to like pull out he'll pull out his brazier, put the necessary ingredients into the brazier.
Do you have enough?
Oh, I have enough. I
Okay.
bought plenty.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, for the next hour and 10 minutes, Raimi is just kind of like sitting there as he is burning this incense.
So
All right.
you've never actually seen, audience, you've never actually seen Trevor do this ritual form. So you just see Raimi sit down, put the brazier in, unfortunately having to take a bit of his own coal to start this, light it up, start to burn it, and you hear him chant this mantra and it's in a voice that you've never heard before, for a solid hour.
All right. While he's doing that, I will take the time to summon my guy too.
Yeah.
Which takes a minute.
So you just turn around, you put your finger in the ground, then put the acorn in, a little dirt on it, and wait, and 1 minute later, you have Orunak, who is weakly stretching, and oh, we're the same day.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd call me on it the other day.
As I said, probably gonna resummon you today. We're gonna do some scouting of the lake.
Okay, so that's where, yeah, he turns around, yeah. Oh, that's a nice lake. I might actually go dip my feet in it. Make sure I don't get too dehydrated. And you see him just wobbling toward the edge of the river, and passes Raimi. He's like, yeah, I guess he's having to reshape his friend. What's it gonna be? Fish? A toad? He goes toward the edge of the river and just dips his toes in yeah, river water, kind of nice. And so you still have 57 minutes to go. And well, I wasn't planning on doing this for a while, but hey, why not do this now, since we've had word that our mechanical friend is having mechanical problem. All right. Takes maybe another 10 or so minutes, and you see Fisher starting to move again. But what comes out of his vocal orifice isn't his voice. You hear a voice that is slightly different than his. Yeah, he's having problem. And I'm sure he's not gonna be too happy about me taking control. But I'd rather do this than die. So, this is awkward. I've heard of you. I've seen you all. And I guess, and he points toward Onak, this is a regular thing?
I go, oh, you must be audience invisible friend. Or not, you must be Fisher's invisible friends. I'm sorry, my name is just always at the front of my mind, because I'm so great.
Yeah, don't worry, I expected it. I've seen you act from time to time, so it's... yeah, so he said I was invisible, huh? Alright, yeah. I'm gonna have to talk about him about this. I guess it's what you do when you are so lacking of imagination. So, we're waiting for him to finish? He points toward Raimi.
While he wait, I was gonna go do a little bit scouting in the vicinity of the shore, but...
Sure, don't worry, I can stay here. After all, he has a sentry mode.
Well,
and you notice this one thing also that is a bit different about him. The color of his eyes aren't red. They have a much milder color while he is talking.
I'm going to then go... I'm going to turn to Anvara, I guess, and be like, do you want to do a bit of scouting? Check the area around here?
Sounds good.
While we wait.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. My bad.
Nah, you're good.
Yeah, you may as well. I don't have anything to prepare except my mind.
Alright. I guess I'll go right. I'll pick right as the direction I'm gonna walk and scout. I'll go right.
Remy, as
Alright.
you are reciting these prayer and these incantation, you get Fisher, who just comes next to you and just crouches. And don't you think that they already feel like a married couple? They're sort of awkward from time to time. At best, it's brothers and sisters, but I've seen married couple like this. You know, they just keep arguing. He knows you can't answer.
Yeah. It's just like Remy's just kind of like side eyeing, like trying his best to concentrate on what he's doing.
Yeah, I know you agree. I'm sure of it. He gets back up and he pats you in the head and keep going. You're gonna get there. You hear him go toward Orunak and... So you're plant-based friend, huh? Well, so are you. Yeah, technically he is, but I'm not. I'm crystal-based. Oh, because that's so much better. Well, at least I can't be eaten by worms. Oh, you're one of those, huh? You just start bantering each other like this.
Alright. Flirting, is that like racist? Is there some like elemental racism going on here that we don't know? It's like crystal based versus like plant based.
Well, for those with knowledge, with a bit of knowledge between arcane things, you'd know that there is a bit of racial tension between air and earth and water and fire. There might be
true.
something behind this.
Sure. Alright, well, I will do scouting checks to the right where I'm gonna like check and see if I can find anything of interest. I'll walk about 30 minutes out and then 30 minutes back. So if there's anything in that 30 minutes.
All right, and Anvara, you're following audience or you're going the opposite way?
I'll scout the opposite end. So I'm not sure about if I'm gonna take only half an hour. I'll take 45 minutes just to be a specialist.
So audience is
snowflake.
going half an hour in one direction and you're going 20 minutes in the other direction.
Uh, 45.
Yeah, well, 30 minutes to go, 30 minutes to come back, 20 minutes to go, 20 minutes to come back.
Or are you gonna be there longer than? So you're not gonna be back by the time Remy finishes his ritual.
No, he's. Did he state that it was an hour-long ritual, or was it like?
Oh yeah, it's
implied?
an hour long.
No, he didn't
Alright.
state it. He can't state it.
True. That is true, actually. It's like, how would you go about explaining that?
She'll take
You
maybe
can't
like an extra like 5 minutes, walk around like slowly, take time to look at it like.
You're familiar with ritual spells. You're a spellcaster. You know that he is most likely doing a ritual casting of this. But since Find Familiar isn't part of your natural domain, you're not sure how long the spell will take. You're just sure that it's going to take longer.
All right, well, fuck it. I'll just take. I'll do a half hour in, half hour out.
All right.
Uh,
So one of
so-
you goes right and the other goes left.
Yep.
Right while you are looking at the lake or away from the lake. Basically, one of you is going north, one of you is going south. Who is going north? Who is going south?
I'm going right. I don't know which way that is.
Are you looking at the lake when you say this?
Yes.
All right, then you're going south.
Okay.
Guess we'll go
Ooh. All right, then south, and then which means Anvara is going north. So I would have each of you make a perception roll.
13.
9.
Yes, keep with tradition.
Yep.
Anvara,
13.
13. All right.
I didn't expect too much from my roll, so I would expect.
Well, audience, you go down for half an hour and you look at everything, and when you come back, you can proudly say that you've seen fish. Large fish. You know, it's impressive.
Can I have tried to catch one?
By hand? Sure. Sure, audience just went in and tried to catch the fish by hand. I'd say this is definitely, oh boy, catching a fish by hand. Would this be athletic or acrobatic? Or maybe sleight of hand?
In full plate, trying to just karate kid a fish out of the water.
Trying to snatch a fish, so it'd probably be. It's like a dex. I know it's dex based, but
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So basically, what are the decks? It's all right.
I don't know if it's an actual athletics roll or.
Well, first I'd say you have to surprise the fish. So, it's an initiative, or no, actually, surprise the fish. That would be stealth.
Well, my chainmail's not on, so I don't get disadvantage on that. Yeah, I'm still not a stealthy human being. I got a 5.
So you get in the water and you see the fish, and you just orient yourself and making splish splash, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. All
Can I
right.
make a wild lunge while it darts away from me? Which I assume it
Yes, sure. I'd say you're trying to make this not very stealthy. Make a sleight of hand check, and the DC will be reflected by your failure to be
Okay.
stealthy.
that is fair. Yeah, no, my rolls are just awful today. We're just not even gonna. We're just gonna say it didn't work.
So you look like this bear that we can often see in videos on YouTube, where he's trying to catch that fish and the fish just keeps jumping around, and eventually he slips and fall into the water and just get back, and you have the feeling that he's looking around saying, I meant to do that. So that's most likely you. You tried and you slipped and you think you touched the fish and you catch. Oh no, it's algae. And oh, the fish is there. Oh god.
All right, I will just come back then. I failed to catch a fish. I am sad.
Anva. We're 13. We're 13. I don't know why I changed the H in there. You look around, half an hour. When you come back, you can also proudly say that you saw a fish. It was nice, good size. And I don't know if the audience brags about seeing a fish.
Audience does not mention fish.
All right. So, yeah. You saw a fish, it jumped. Was very impressive, caught a fly in midair.
All right, so we're back. We've regrouped at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw nothing.
Uh, You wouldn't believe the day I've seen a fish. It was amazing. Never been happier. I will cherish this memory forever.
You hear from this new voice that you've just recently heard. I guess she's easily impressed. You hear Orunak say, "Well, how many fish did you see in the past hour?"
Me?
No, right now they're talking to one another, to Orunak, to other
Okay.
fisher. But sure, you can answer.
I do not. Again, I'm not mentioning fish. Fish are stupid, and yeah, they're stupid. That the audience thought of them.
Dumb fish. Alright, so Fisher Taranad turns around and so how long are we gonna stay here? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for not dying at the bottom of a lake. But you know, it's from what I understand, you actually want success on this. And apparently,
I
right
turned to
now,
Remy.
right now, your biggest success is finding a fish in the lake.
I turned to Remy and said, "Is your ritual done?"
Just as you say that, what does Twinkling Bell look like?
So now, so Raimi was trying to think, like, considering the situation that they're dealing with, as far as knowing that there are at least a, but probably more water elementals in the lake, probably patrolling around. He decides to select the stealthiest water creature that he knows. And so it takes the form of an octopus. And just for fun, at the end of each of the octopus's tentacles, there are bells.
Shouldn't be too bad underwater.
Oh, it's great underwater.
Oh yeah, sure, it's gonna be great. You know, it's meat pasta. Yeah, it's gonna fare well. All right,
So
well, throw it in.
Raimi's going to delicately pick them up and gently place them into the water, allowing it to go in.
All right, you see him gently moving about and just turning a bit, finding its new environment. All right, seems to be getting along with it. And all right. It's weird, but you have this sensation that he hasn't been a water creature before. But you're all right. It's weird, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, so then Raimi is going to communicate the ideas of sneak and search close.
All right, close to what?
Like he's basically communicating the idea, staying within the extent of their telepathic communication.
Okay. Which I believe is longer
100 feet.
than. All right, so. All right.
then-
Communication and sight is the same.
Oh yeah, like they're both within the 100 feet category.
All right. I thought.
Telepathic communication and whether they can share senses or not.
Yeah, all right. I'm reading it right now. Yeah, I thought one was longer than the other. All right, that's okay.
Mhm.
Um. All right. So you see him start moving and slowly go down. So you're assuming the site of Twinkling Bell?
Yeah, well, before he does that,
Yeah.
he's going to turn to the group and he's going to minor illusion. Diddling. And he's going to point to his eyes and then point to the image and then point to himself.
Yeah, that's on you, Anvar. I got nothing.
Well, we all know how good Anvara and her player are at interpreting what Remy has to say. So let's just, hey, 18, I get what you're saying. All right, we're good. He's going to use this one to scout out the lake. He can see through his eyes, so we don't have to actually get wet.
Or so you've heard.
Yes. I think an 18 warrants a good understanding of what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then he's also going to point to you guys and then point to himself and then point to his eyes.
You want us to look at you?
He kind of like does that wave motion of like you're close. Watch my back, Raimi.
Okay, gotcha. We got you covered.
And he'll point to himself one more time. Fuck, I can't see.
Oh, okay. When he's looking through his familiar's eyes, we're gonna have to be his eyes around him.
Yeah.
Then you remember, it just comes back to you, audience. Oh, yeah, Trevor did that once. That's why he wanted us to look after him.
Yeah, it makes sense to me now.
All right.
Well, we will probably move slowly then, since we're basically bringing a blind person along with us.
Well, there aren't a lot of places where you can actually go. You didn't try to purchase a boat. So you're just on the shore and with a squid going 100 feet away.
That is true.
Yeah,
well,
but
we
they're
could
also just
walk
trying
in
to
a
like get a
circle.
good idea. Well, it's like that was the initial plan, though, to like walk around first to see like if there's basically anything strange like closer to the shore, and then if it comes down to it, like maybe use a boat.
So are we going right or left?
That again.
North or south?
If I roll above a 10, we're going right. If I roll below a 10, we're going left. We have rolled above a 10, we're going right.
So you're going south.
Yeah.
All right. Are you planning to go very far?
I
Until
assumed.
until Remy says he had enough?
I assume, yeah. Just gonna keep walking. Or until, like, the octopus came back and said it found something.
All right. Then in that case, Remy, I would have you make a perception roll with the stat of the octopus.
Actually, like this part I've always wondered as far as like because like when the octopus is like looking for things by itself, like they use its senses, but when the spellcaster takes over the senses, I think the spellcaster is seeing with their eyes, but they still gain the senses of the creature.
Yeah, I'd say it depends a bit because
I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. For some role, I would completely agree. But since right now, yes, you are using your eyes, but you're using his perception. So his ability to hear, his viewpoint. You can command him to look left and right and pay more attention to this detail, but if, for example, he doesn't see in color, well, you're not seeing in colors either. For things that are less perception but more directly hands-on, like investigation, that I would agree, because you are literally telling him, no, look there, could you turn that over? And that I would agree that it would be more your investigation than his investigation.
Okie doke. Just making sure we're establishing it now.
Okay.
Like, always good to have those clear from the get-go. That'll be a 15, and I guess while I'm at it, since I did tell them to do it stealthily, I'll also roll for stealth.
Well,
Because,
actually,
again,
yeah. Well, they actually have a +4 bonus to stealth. The octopus.
oh yeah, and they also get advantage.
Yes.
There's that. That'll be 18.
18. All right. All right. All right. So he goes in for a while and goes as far as he can without losing his link to you. And you slowly start walking down the lake. It takes a moment. You know, it's not always easy to see. There are some places where there's a lot of underwater vegetation, few kelps, and you do meet one or two fish who are a bit curious about this odd creature who isn't at all normal in a lake. So some of them actually come and visit, look at you. You manage to see a pike from very up close, which is a bit unnerving because it's slightly bigger than you. But then he just moves away. At one point, you see a turtle, and you have this instinctive fear about looking at your tentacles and looking at the turtle coming in closer and closer and closer. Just going above you, and you remember that you're stealthed. You are hiding with the rocks, and okay. Well, so you keep on going, and for how long are you willing to walk like this?
Again, until Remy said he would stop.
Yeah, Remy, how long are you willing to be borrowing your familiar's eyes and being led on the shore blindly?
I would say that, like, it's like if he doesn't see anything like strange for about if he doesn't see anything strange along the shoreline for about, I would say, maybe 45 minutes, he would slightly change his strategy.
Okay.
And from that point, allow his familiar to sort of like search a bit ahead of them, out of their sight.
All right. So
Sort of like literally do scouting like up ahead and then come back.
on his own. All right. All right. So After maybe I'd say nearly the time that you would decide to change strategy, you do come across what looks like a sunken raft of some sort. Might have been a boat once, but it seems to have suffered a bit of damage, so mostly look like a sunken raft right now. You do notice that there is fishing equipment around it. There's no body, no sign that someone was maimed or anything like this, but there does seem to be fishing equipment, so it most likely was at one point a small fishing boat. It's nearly at the limit of your perception with your familiar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the lake is starting to drop heavily at this point. You get the idea that the lake can probably go in its deepest, maybe at 75, 100. Maybe there are a few crevices going below 100 feet, but you get the feeling that it's about the depth of the lake. As deep as it can get. 100, maybe 120 feet deep. Which is a bit surprising.
So
it's still very deep for a lake.
Yeah.
let's see. So he sees that. So you know what? He would probably ask Ling to because like is the fishing equipment in a tackle box?
It's been spilled over, so there is a tackle. There is a box with a few tackles in them, but there are a few of them which are just on the sand, and some of them are just being slightly carried away by whatever current there can still be felt at that depth.
All right, so then it looks like, so it does in fact look like the deepest this lake goes is about 100, 120, at least on this side.
Where you are, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at the complete center it could go deeper, but
120 is a hell of a crater.
So Raimi will break vision with his familiar for a moment and turn to the others, and he will minor illusion the sunken raft that he saw down there.
So you see a 5-foot version of a slightly bigger raft, which looks like it's been overturned and damaged. Looks like it's at the bottom of the water, but it's sort of hard to put back into context since he's not minor illusioning the water itself.
All right.
And yeah, since this was at about the since this would be at about the limit of where he said he was going to be walking,
Probably something like 40 minutes. You know, you are getting worried of this just walking and ooh.
I guess he'll turn to the group. It's like, I don't see shit.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Shakes his head, but re-minor illusions the map, and he's going to basically move his finger around the middle of the lake, and he's going to make the bell sound. Ding.
All
Okay.
right. Guess we really don't have a choice.
You
Nothing
hear?
to find on sites.
So right now you're back with the group. You're not. Your senses are not being blocked by your familiar. Remy.
Well, he returned vision to the group to speak
Okay.
with them.
I just rolled for Terranad and Ohunak, but only Terranad had some result. He says, hold on, you bird. Could you just, how precise can you make the image of the boat and the surrounding? Make a perception roll to see just how precise you can get.
Like, me perception or octopus perception?
I'd say it's you because you're the one doing the minor illusion.
Okay. Well, he has other options, but
Okay. Well, you're the one who has to draw this, so.
how would a 15 do?
15. Well, there's some details. So are you just making the boat illusion, or are you also making the illusion of everything around it? Like the box of tackle that has been overturned and the different tackle spread around, the algae and the kelp.
Well, maybe we'll make this easier on everybody because he realizes a 5x5 square or 5x5 cube isn't always the best illustration.
Okay.
So he's going to crack his talons, as it were.
All right.
Sort of like take a few steps back, and for once, he's going to use a spell slot.
Oh.
Shit.
And basically in the he's literally going to put them inside the image of what he saw in a. He's going to literally recreate the image, but much larger, with a silent image casting.
All right.
So he has the opportunity to make more finer details of what he saw down there.
And it can be as large as a 15-foot cube. So yes, there's going to be a lot more to see with this. For duration, 10 minutes. Purely visual. Okay.
And these ones can move, so it doesn't have to be a static
Yeah.
image.
Yeah, so it's basically a silent image of what he sees on the water. All right, well, everyone knows. All right. So he looks at this and, all right. Could you? And he enters the illusion itself, and he points toward the box of tackle that has been overturned. Can you ask your familiar to turn this around so I can see the interior?
So he'll nod. His eyes go blank for a moment as he communicates to Diddling search and box.
Okay. And you can, since you're keeping concentration and you simply need to keep on visualizing this image in your head and it's just gonna move, you see, with the image, you see this octopus entering the field of view and then just overturning the box. And he looks at the box and you see Terranad because he rolled a natural 20. Doesn't that look like the drawing on the gnome fishing rod? Who was?
Does it?
It was audience who was talking with the gnome. You can make a perception
Yes.
roll if you want to.
I rolled a 16.
Holy
Good
shit.
roll.
I was as shocked as you. I usually get one good roll out of every, 10 bad ones.
That's a good
Christ.
average. All right. So you look at this and yeah, it does look familiar. You're the only one of the group who was actually there right in front of the gnome. But yeah, it does look like the emblem that was on his fishing rod painted on the box.
Interesting.
And
I will
what-
tell the rest of the group that.
When you look at this, you are forced to admit that, wow, that's observation. And that's inside a fissure? Natural 20, you know.
Yeah. Well, I will mention it to the group. That was the same as what was on the gnome's fishing rod.
Huh. So, I. Okay.
Yeah.
What? All right. That's some new information to be sure. Oh man, the fact that Raimi can't fucking talk really much. Like, oh, I don't even think of things to say. God damn it! I
your
can't just
best.
munchkin like we have this. Fuck. All right. So, did he? Did he mention losing the fishing rod?
No. He did say he was gonna go try it though when we left.
Oh. Should we bring it back to him?
Oh no, wait, no. He did say there was another one. I thought he tried, but it hadn't worked.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, sure, we could retrieve it.
Yeah. Man, I don't.
It's our only clue right now at all. So maybe we should.
Well, I mean, unless you want to grab a boat right away and try to scout the very sketched out center of this lake on a dinky rowboat, I'm not sure we want to do that right away, especially with audience not being not with Fisher not being completely there.
Mm.
To be fair, I trust him more than the mystery man that inhabits his body.
Did you say all of that out loud?
Oh fuck, is he? Yes. Yeah. Fuck it. I said it out loud. No offense. I say 3 seconds later after the pause.
The awkward silence.
You hear Taranad just go, yeah, don't worry, I figured out you weren't the brightest of the bunch.
Amy just kind of says out to the others, "Wanna grab that for me, Raimi?"
I mean,
Hang on. Do you have to resummon to send him back down, or? Because if we have to wait another hour, I'll just fucking go down and get
I
it
mean, the octopus
myself.
is still down there.
Yeah, all right, tell me.
Can he get it? He's an octopus. I guess
Yeah, he's an
can-
octopus. He can
Yeah.
grab shit.
All,
Oh, yeah.
all he can do is grab it.
Yeah, so he might as well grab it.
Uh,
I'll say yes. I'll tell Remy yes. He should grab it.
So, Remy will communicate the message: grab rod.
No, oh, it's the tackle box that has
Tackle box.
Oh, fit on. Oh, it's a tackle box that has the logo.
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Okay.
Easy enough. He grabs the box, closes it, wraps it around his tentacle, and just starts slowly moving toward the edge.
All right.
Alright, I guess we'll wait for him to get there.
It takes a few minutes because now half of his arms are around the box, and he's only using half of octopus power to get back to shore.
Can I get down to like the shore to about like waist height, so I can like help him get out when he gets closer to the edge?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I'll just take off my boots, roll up my vestments around my like waist, I guess.
Okay.
Just like wait for him.
So you get in the water and you wait for him, and
If I get grabbed, I swear to God.
is Anvara nervous? You can make a perception roll if you want to.
Sure. Well, I mean, perception, I'm looking for the octopus whenever he comes into eye range.
Okay.
10.
So you're looking in the water and you're very focused, slightly nervous because you know there's a creature also lurking in, and you look at it. It's not there, and you feel something touch your leg.
Oh God, what the fuck? I'll reach down and try to grab it. Not like violently, but like just like reach out both hands, try to like pick up whatever was moving, since I'll just assume it was the octopus.
All right, make a sleight of hand check.
All right.
You're
Cool.
trying to grab something who is not aware that you're trying to grab it because you're nice.
21.
21, all right. So you feel something touching your leg. Instinctively, you just grab it and take it out, and you have these tentacle wrapped around your arms, and this eye looking at you, and the box dangling on the side.
All right, I'll just raise him up a bit and just like waddle my way out of the lake.
Remy, you have the telepathic message of "I got him," her.
And I'll just like reach my arm out with like the octopus like suction cup to it, just like shaking it in Raimi's direction. I like wag it off, like, come on.
Remy
Remy,
rushes
you
over
get-
quickly because effectively Anvara is manhandling his friend.
Yeah, because and also you get the message. Should I let her go?
It's like Remy communicates the affirmative.
Even though it's an octopus, you do get the sense that it still thinks it's a cat. It believes that it got her, and now it's his. So yours, by definition.
Technically not wrong. I'm not gonna try to grab it with my other hand to pull it off. I'm just gonna end up entangled with it.
Alright, so Remy, you just get in and you put your hand under it and gently remove the suction cups and take it back. The Twinkling Bell has an empty box of lure tackle.
So Raimi will kind of like avoiding like the talons themselves, but kind of just like stroke the exterior of Thinling's skin, as if to say like it's like good boy.
You have a sense of satisfaction coming from your familiar.
And also realizing that it's probably holding its breath right now. He's just going to like for the time being have him poof away, just like.
All right, so you see Remy with this octopus in his hand, and patting him, and suddenly turns into mist, and the mist fades away.
So, what do we do with the loot?
Open it, probably, and check out what's inside. It's probably just fishing stuff, but might as well look.
You open it?
Yep.
All right. You look inside, and you get this poof of... No, I'm kidding. You just open it, and the box is mostly empty. There is one or two tackle still hooked inside. Get the feeling that the hook might have just slipped under whatever is supposed to hold them when it got overturned. But it's mostly empty. You do see faintly drawn in, looks like with probably a sort of water-resistant paint, which isn't that surprising coming from a gnome. But you do recognize the same little drawing from the side of the fishing rod of the gnome.
Alright. Well, I guess we'll bring this back to him when we go back to town.
Yeah, that would be the strat. So 2 tackles and what? Sorry?
A few tackles inside the box, and the box itself has a small drawing of the same emblem that the gnome painted on the side of his fishing pole, probably with some sort of water-resistant paint.
All right. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Let's bring it back to him.
All right. Fortunately, I don't think this helps us solve our mystery any more.
No, but I don't know, maybe this would persuade him into letting us borrow his boat for some time without having to actually buy a canoe.
Maybe. He seemed helpful. He might just let us borrow his boat anyway.
Yeah, but now we have now he has a more incentive to it.
Well, I'm getting the feeling that we're not going to find anything from the shore, so it might actually be time to go back and get the boat.
Yep.
It seems as though all the interest is at the center.
Yeah, interest. That's how adventurers put it, right? Not the deadly portion, the interesting part. Very well.
All right, men, pack up and move out.
All right.
All right, well, Orunak just looks back at the water and, well, are you going back far away from the water?
It's okay. I'll resummon you once we get back, and I'll desummon him.
Oh yeah, great. Sure. And you see him wait a moment, and you see an acorn appear, and plucks it away and gives it to you, audience. Alright, just don't make a boat out of my body. And then you see him wilt away. And become a dead husk of whatever tree he was. And you hear Terranad say, well, that's still impressive. Why did he say don't make a boat out of me? Is that something that actually happened?
No. It is not the worst idea, though. If we ever have to buy one and don't have the money.
Just summon and desummon him till you have enough wood to make a raft
Alright.
out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, because there's nothing weird about summoning a creature and then selling his corpse and summoning again, then getting it back where it belongs, and then selling his corpse again. No one's ever
Also,
been accused of anything doing that.
I mean, he's not dying.
I still have a bundle of his twigs in my bag.
Shit, that's true, you do.
Do you say that out loud?
No. No. Unlike Tyrnat, I actually like Ohunak, so...
Alright, I guess we'll start heading back then. See if the gnome has any info for us. We can give him his tackle.
All right. So you go back to your cart and then go back to the village.
Yeah.
All right. So you walk up the river again, another 45 minutes. And well, everyone make a perception roll. Oh, he's still very good.
Oh, baby. Let's go. 18.
Oh.
19.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 19. I still get my -1.
Maybe just sees everything with a net 20.
I see all. I know all.
I just can't tell anyone. All right. So you're all walking on the side of this, and oddly enough, fortunately my camera doesn't bend in a way that you can see this, but I rolled 3 dice, and I rolled 3 18. So, yeah, you all, I think the 18 was a team for this roll.
Yeah.
So you all look toward the lake as you're walking by, and you all see about at the same moment, except you, Anvara, how much did you roll?
19.
She rolled 19.
19, all right. So you mostly see it all exactly at the same time, with the the exception of Remy, who, since he rolled a natural 20, sees this almost a full 5 seconds before everyone else. But you're walking along the shoreline, and at one point you look around on the lake, and you're sure it's probably where in the right direction to be right at the middle of the lake. You do see something shimmer, but it's a lot more visible than the shimmer that you've seen several times. And it's deep underwater, but it lasts for, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds. This is why, Remy, for some reason, you were just looking exactly at the right place, and then you saw it start, shimmer, a sort of pinkish light, and then start to fade, and Anvara, audience, and Fisher, and Taranad, apparently, and Ohunak, because everyone rolled 18, I don't know why. You all see the end of it, the last few moments of shimmers, and it disappears.
I'll
Was
say,
it
well,
always this color?
Sorry?
Oh, was it always this color? Like the shimmer that was seen before, was it the same color?
You don't recall it being of that pinkish color, but it's not like a fluorescent pink. It's just a few shimmer within the shimmer of pinkish light.
It's like a light peach kind of pinkish kind of thing.
Yeah, I've never associated peach with pink, but yeah, I think you could say that.
I don't know. I don't know why I was thinking peach, like.
No, I know.
Peach.
I'm just making difference to the fruit, which it's we have weird expressions around the world. You know, we associate some colors to things that have no association with that color. But yeah,
You know,
I get
you know
what
the
you
pop,
I get what you wanted to say. Just like to underline it that it's weird saying that.
a bit of a pinkish color like a banana. You know.
Yeah, because everyone knows that bananas are pink.
Okay. All right.
Alright, well,
Remy, because of your natural 20, I would allow you to make an intelligence roll.
Like, come on, Raby, you're a smart cookie des. How does 17?
17. You look at this pink coloration, you've seen it a few seconds more than everyone else. But there's something about it that the color feels familiar, but there's also seem to be details missing that when you try to remember it, it sort of just come right at the edge of your awareness and then it just slips away. Sort of like when you're trying to when you see a someone from a commercial and you say, I've seen him in another commercial, but I just can't. It's sort of like that, but with that pink color.
Hmm. Did the color seem like it was like moving in a direction, or did it simply appear and then disappear?
It simply seemed to have given for a brief moment a pink color to the shimmer.
Okay.
Okay. Hmm. Maybe we'll just say, I can't put my finger on it.
okay.
And he does kind of have like a contemplative look on his face about it. And and how far off was that shimmer?
It's hard to tell because it really does seem to have come from underwater, but
Mhm.
you're looking roughly in the direction of the center of the lake. Or at least the northern half of the section of the lake.
It's like, you know what? It's like simply because of that, Raimi is going to start making a dash toward where the shimmer was to like the closest he can get based on the shore.
Okay.
So you're basically just trying to reach the shore of it.
Yeah.
The shore of the
Well,
lake.
trying to get as close as possible as he physically can without going into the water.
Okay. All right. So that's easy enough. You really weren't that far away from the edge of the lake, so it's probably like 5 or 6 steps, and your claw just touches the receding water from a wave.
And then just to make sure, just to make sure, like, and this might be a bit on the riskier side, but Raimi is going to resummon Diddling into the water and point out the direction where they saw the source light or the source shimmer,
Okay.
and and communicating investigate.
All right.
Anvara will turn to Raimi. Are you trying to do this quiet-like and sneaky, or ellipses? So,
Hmm.
because if you're not, I'll drop a lit rock down there to help with vision.
I mean, it has dark vision anyway.
Ah, fair. All right, never mind. We're good.
So yeah, it doesn't need the light.
All right, I'll just like have a handful of pebbles and just like you need to light them up. I guess we would just be like, nah, good, be good, chief. All right, cool.
So you know that dark vision is only 30 feet.
Yeah, I'm aware,
Okay.
but that's why I said investigate, as in like
Yeah.
they would have to get closer to
Okay.
get a better idea of what's around there,
Sure.
regardless.
All right. So you send your octopus, and from the size of the lake, you know that it's gonna take a while before he comes back. I will have you make. Well, you can't help him on that one because it's outside of your visual range. So it would be investigation, but with his 3 intelligence stat.
I'm fully aware,
Okay.
but or at the very least, maybe first, would it be more a perceive then investigate, or
Well,
are
it
we treating
depends.
it as like just an outright investigation?
Well, I did say investigate because you asked him to investigate. Did you actually really mean investigate as in the skill investigate? Or just go there, investigate as in what you can perceive?
Like investigate as in perceive, because
Okay.
if there's nothing to be seen, there's nothing to investigate.
Sure. All right, then make a perception roll with his wisdom, which gives you a +0, but he does have a +2 to his perception skills.
See, 14.
14. All right. So, while you're waiting for him to come back, because you are aware that it's most likely going to take him maybe 2 or 3 hours to come back.
Oh, is that the scope of the lake here?
Well, if he is going exactly to the middle of it, an hour to go, an hour to come back, it can take him 2 to 3 hours. If he finds something earlier, he could be back in 10 minutes. But it could take up to 3 hours for him to come back.
Okay. Have you sent him down yet? Like,
It's like considering how important this might be, because uh, here, this might be a bit risky, but Raimi is going to. Okay, basically, like before Dinling goes out of range, he's going to ask them to investigate in both senses of the word.
Alright.
To like go to the area and then investigate like around the area, doing their best to not, be seen, as in stealth. And then he's going to turn to the others and is going to point to all of them and himself and minor illusion the gnome.
okay.
And then he just minor illusions after that a clock.
A clock. So you manage the gnome and a clock.
So us gnome clock. Is
That's
the
gonna be an
clock
intelligence roll from audience. So that's
gonna
gonna be an 8. So I got no idea.
Yeah, Alvaro needs to roll 2. I'm fucking stupid. Nat 20. What do you mean?
Alright, well, with the order of things that came in, you probably figure that he wants all of you to go get the gnome while he's waiting for his octopus to come back. Would that
Alright.
be fair about what you would understand, Remy?
That would be the intended communication.
All right.
All right,
Like
gotcha,
basically
right.
communicating. This gonna take a while.
Should I get a boat?
Remy thinks about it, and looking out to the center of the lake, he just kind of turns and nods.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna go get a boat.
You reckon that's the kind of village where we could buy a diving bell?
All right. So, with all of this, you'd go back. You're probably almost there when you know. So, most likely, by the time that you would get back, no matter what, Remy's octopus would be back. And it would also be nearing sunset.
Alright.
Because it does take an hour to get there. So an hour to get there and then an hour to get back.
Plus getting a boat.
Plus getting a boat if no one has one ready that you can borrow. So yeah.
Alright. It's fine. We'll do this at night.
Yeah.
Why not? Can't breathe. Might as well not be able to see either.
Which is going to increase the challenge a bit. You know, it's exactly how Dragonborn likes it.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily difficult.
Challenging to the border of impossibility. Let's go.
Just for fun, I'm gonna do all of my roll with disadvantage, you know, because I think it's too easy. So,
Exactly. You get it.
all right. If we're gonna be good, let's be epic.
I'll roll
So,
all my checks at D12. Why not?
yeah. So, Remy, you are sitting at the edge of the lake, and you start waiting for your friend to come back, and the other group of friends to come back also. With Fisher sitting in the cart again, and everyone else just moving on. And Fisher falls again into his sentry rest, while you all make your way back to the village. So after an hour, you get to the village. It's starting to be closer to the end of day. I'd say an hour, 25 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours. Yeah, it's about 4 p.m. So people are starting to get back to their home, and some of them are going to the tavern.
Alright. Well, we would go try and find this gnome. So I would start asking around for people I'd last seen him.
All right. Make
So I do have his name, but
yeah.
it is in my notes. It is, what is this gnome's name? Oh, no, I never did. Oh, no, Bounty. Is his name Bounty? Maybe. Roll what?
I was just gonna say roll for an investigation, not to see if
Oh.
you find him, but how long it takes to find him.
13.
13. All right. So it takes a bit of time. You get the feeling that he has several nicknames. So you say one, and you have everyone looking at you a bit odd, and then you remember him saying another nickname, and oh, okay, yeah, sure. And you do a bit of the ping pong in the town, in the village, where you realize, oh, he was here, but then he left, and you eventually find yourself at the back of the inn, where he is. You see, he is spooling a large something of metal wire, just rolling it on and fishing. He's not paying attention to you right now.
I'll call out to him. Bounty.
Yes. Who is it?
It's
Oh!
audience.
Yeah. So, how was your day?
Good. We found some of your fishing stuff. I'll hand
Really?
it over. Yeah,
Oh, that's
we
very
found some of your
nice.
tackle.
Do you have it?
We were wondering if we could borrow a boat, and if you could, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go check if my boat has been repaired. But if it has, yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank
Great.
you. Did you learn anything while in town?
Not a lot. No, mostly the same thing. You know, some people say that the creature attacked them, but no one's been injured yet. Some people say that they just saw something move in the water. Actually, there was someone who said that it started to happen at the beginning of the month. You know, like 6th or 7th of the month. But that's mostly it. A lot of people are you just prefer avoiding it. You know, and since there's a bit of unpredictability to it, people are mostly worried, so they don't go very far in the lake anymore. It's actually taxing a bit our food because we're so used to getting a lot of fish from the lake. There are some pretty interesting fish. I once caught a pike, which was about this size, and he really puts his hand on at the same height of his own head. And he once caught a pike that long. I know that they're usually more swampy fish, but toward the northern end, there is a little bit of a swampy area. But yeah, so it's about it. A lot of people have been asking me, especially since we have people aren't a bit more hesitant to go farther in the lake. A lot of people have been asking me for my lures because my lures attract fish.
Well, glad to hear that you've been making yourself useful.
I'm always useful here. It's all part of being a gnome. There's always something you can do. Granted, sometimes people say that they didn't actually need you to do this, but hey, it's always useful, so you were wrong.
At the mention of the word gnome, Anvara's arm hairs lift up a bit.
What's wrong, miss? It looks like you swallowed a fly.
No.
A bee, then?
But, no, the only thing I tend to swallow these days is my pride.
Oh, that's alright. Don't worry, you get used to it.
I hope not.
It's always better to just not have any. That way, there's no way it can be broken. Injured, soiled.
An elf with no pride. I'll write a book about that one day.
Alright, I'll read it.
Sure you will.
He looks at you, audience, and he said, I don't think she believes me.
I don't know. Let's go check. Let's go see if your boat's ready. We're on a clock here.
Oh, alright, let's go then. And it takes you to one of the houses. It does take maybe 15 minutes to get to the house. You get the feeling that it's one of those very distant houses from the center of the village. And it does take a moment because he can't find the owners. Probably at the inn. He did say that I could take it if I needed it. So he goes around and looks for it. And oh, no. Looks fully repaired. And look, he even made a little patch here. It's kind of nice.
Well, we'll try not to wreck it.
All right. But you know, if you do, if you solve the problem, we'll call it even.
Okay. Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, how heavy is this boat? How hard is it going to be to bring this boat?
Well, it's not a large boat. Two-person should be enough to drag it back. It's a bit cumbersome, mainly because you just have to put it on your head and just start walking, and a few times you have to just stop and lift the boat and look around. Oh yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, you're
Did
going in my
Fisher,
direction.
banned by the other person, come with us? He did, right?
He came back to the village because he was sitting in the cart, but he
Yeah.
is in sentry mode right now.
I'm going to turn to him and be like, okay, me and you, let's carry it. I think you're the second strongest person here. We can move it the quickest.
yeah. I may have misdescribed Anvara. She's not terribly like scrawny. She's just pretty lean.
I still
All
think I
Elvar.
trust the large construct more than I do you to carry something.
Racist. Says the one who's racist towards gnomes.
All right.
It's one of those very important things about gnomes is that they're never actually trying to be mean to you.
No.
It's just
And you're
No,
they're
I guess
trying
they
too
didn't
hard.
try. Very impressive.
And also gnomes are known for having an odd sense of humor.
Mhm.
It's actually written in the player's handbook.
That's the kind of detail I don't memorize.
I read it often enough. That's why I remember it. Alright, so you all carry back the fishing boat back to the village where the cart most likely is. And looking at the time, we're going to take our break here. And maybe by the time we get back, Taranad will have found a way to awaken Fisher. Because right now he is sleeping very hard. Alright,
All
so
right.
we're gonna take our break and be back in 10 minutes. And while we take our break, why not support the stream if you can? You know, it's always nice. Follow us if you're not already following us. You can always make a donation. You can always ask your friends to, hey, come see the end of the stream. You can also go make yourself a sandwich. Because if you're hungry, you won't be looking at the second half of the show. So go get a sandwich, come back, and you can watch while you're eating. It's always fun, I promise. Depending on what you eat. So, we'll see you again in 10 minutes. Bye.
2.
Alright, welcome back everyone. As you can see, we are 4 again. Yay! Alright, so it would appear that Fisher has managed to come out of his sentry rest, which he fell into without actually wanting to. So, and I'll short recap so that even our player can catch up with us. The party decided to investigate the shore of the lake in the first part of the episode. And they actually found that Fisher's invisible friend wasn't actually invisible. It was there. And since Fisher was having problem coming out of his sentry rest, and his friend didn't want to die at the bottom of the lake, he was able to assume control because Fisher's awareness had been temporarily dimmed by exterior factors. And so
Windows update.
So he followed the group, exchanged a few interesting banters with Orunak and some party members. And then they actually all found something interesting in the lake. A box of tackles. Mostly empty, but they saw it as a clue, as there was a small emblem drawn inside, which brought them back to the gnome they had talked at the beginning of the day. So they all went back, but on their way back, every single member, including NPCs, almost everyone rolled an 18. So everyone saw almost exactly at the same time a shimmer coming, a pinkish shimmer coming from the lake. And so Remy decided to send his friend to investigate in the lake while his 3 other friends went back into town and got the gnome. And the boat of the gnome. And so now we are coming back to Anvara and audience, slowly making their way back to the cart, with Fisher being woken up by Ternad. Just saying, come on, you can come out of it. It's getting awkward. I am getting tired of talking with your dim-witted friends. And this is when your consciousness starts to come back.
So I was unconscious. Like I don't know any of what happened while.
Now, for some reason, you fell into your sentry rest, and the lights weren't coming back on. You know, it's sort of like a car out of juice. It's
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, low battery problems. You know, a little bit of a jump start.
You know, it's okay. Even constructs sometimes have performance issues.
it happens around 4 years old, you know.
Yeah. Hi. What do you mean?
Oh, Sleeping Beauty is back.
How are you talking to my friends?
Well, I have just learned that when you're unconscious, I can actually do make you things. You know, I can make you walk, I can make you talk, I can make you do other things.
Did you make me go unconscious?
No, that happened on its own. I don't know why. You probably
here's
should.
an interesting question. Can I do an insight check?
You can.
With that sweet -1.
Yeah.
Nice quality. That's gonna be a 1.
A 1. Well,
So,
it's very hard.
2 -1.
It's very hard to do an insight check on someone who doesn't have a body. You only have his voice to judge. And judging from the kind of banters he gives you, it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
He might be honest. You know, he's sort of having a little bit too much fun telling you what happened. But then again, he could have maybe found a way to force an unconscious state. He did say at the beginning that he found it frustrating that now he's just a passenger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then again, he is having fun telling you what he did. Too much fun.
Mm-hmm. Just remember, I can always just take you out and leave you somewhere.
Oh, yes. That's probably the best thing, you know. There's some creature, machine, or entity out there who seems to have a higher purpose for you, who believe that I would be of a very good friend or assistance at least to help you in this endeavor, and I'm sure it's going to have absolutely no repercussion to just leave me behind.
You're the worst.
I know, I hate you too.
Are they back yet?
Yeah, just as you say this, you see a boat with dragonborn legs and elven legs making its way toward you.
I'm not gonna have to apologize for anything, am I?
Well, how sensitive do you think audience and Orunak are? Probably not. Probably not.
Oh no, those two are fine.
That's a good thing, because I think your elven friend has some issues. I think she's a bit racist. So I don't think there's a problem with what I said with her.
I'm Dea's vault levels of racism.
Nice. Well, I'm just gonna blame it all on you. Because now they know you're real and I'm not crazy.
Yeah, so you say.
I just think you're schizo.
That'd be a hot take.
Yeah, schizophrenic.
Dual personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, just to help Fisher's case, as you are arriving, you are hearing the end of this conversation. You do hear Fisher's normal voice again, but you're only hearing his half of the conversation again.
Fisher, good to see you're back. Here, help me carry this boat. I think Odvar is getting a little tired.
Okay. I will walk over and help with the boat.
In the audience, you do notice that Fisher's eyes are back to their usual bright red self.
So to give you a brief rundown of the plan, Fisher, we're going to go take a boat out to the middle of the lake as it's becoming night to fight an underwater creature.
Okay. Okay.
You hear Terranad say, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that."
Is that it? Is there anything else?
Nope, that's the
The
extent
other-
of the plan.
Audience, Fisher, my friend, did you expect our plans to be nuanced in any way?
I mean, no, but like, at least like, is there a reason we're doing it in the dark?
We're apparently on a time crunch. I don't know. Remy said to hurry back.
Where is Remy?
He's back at the lake.
He's swimming alone, unsupervised.
How far from the lake are we?
About an hour and a
Okay.
half at most of walk.
Alright. Do we
By the
have?
by, no, precisely because Advara like nat 20 that intelligence, it wasn't to hurry back. It was simply just a statement of this was going to take a while.
Oh no, but audience answered that question. That's what
Yeah,
he got. That's
audience
why I
rolled an
didn't
8.
say anything.
I'm just saying that Anvara can object if she feels the need
I was,
to.
I was waiting for him to finish talking, but yeah, I I don't think time is necessarily of the essence right now. Like Raimi is a smart little guy. I don't think he'd want us to jump headfirst into a watery abyss tonight.
I mean, I'll point at the light. I'll be like, time is of the essence. We have about like, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours left of daylight. If we can get this done quickly, then it won't be dark.
Um,
I mean,
yeah.
sure.
I mean, under the water. I mean, I guess it's gonna be dark, kind of dark anyway. Did y'all at least pick up? You guys ready for an underwater fight?
We couldn't really figure out what to get, so, we'll make do.
Laura reaches into her, like behind her, like I got the spear.
That'll work. Yeah, things that stab. Spear, trident,
Where the fuck would we find a trident?
shorter swords. I mean, it's a fishing village.
Tridents?
A long sword is a shorter sword, and I'll point to the
No,
great sword
no.
still swung across my back.
Well, you see, but it has long in the name. There, audience.
Well, I do have a short sword also.
Well, if needs be, I can use the spear or the short sword that Anvara has. We need me to take one of them.
Are we still in the town?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. I mean, why don't we just? I don't know. You guys have been walking around here a bit, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a blacksmith or fishing supply shop?
I mean, I'm sure there is.
We could just go like grab another spear or something.
Thank God you came back.
Audience will shrug and be like, okay, more weapons is never bad. I don't mind more weapons.
Okay. Do you guys know where that is, or do we have to wander around for a little bit?
I assume we would. I mean, we've been in town for, what, like, a pretty long time now.
You,
Including the...
you've been in town for maybe half a day, so it's still a village. So the heart of the village is roughly 5 building. So yeah, you sort of know, all right, so this is the inn, this is the shrine. That must be where they do metal stuff. And that must be where they do wood stuff.
Is there a potion shop?
There wouldn't be a potion shop in a village, but there might be someone proficient with herbs. But it
Herbs
would be one of the person living in the village. So it would most likely be some villager's house somewhere. Which one? It's probably not gonna be written.
Herbs
in
are
front
not
of it.
going to give me a potion of water breathing, so I'm going to skip it.
Gotta get that gillyweed.
Yeah, because everyone
Dang it,
knows
you beat
that.
me to it.
Gonna get that gimmick, yeah.
I will go.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go to the metal shop. Like, where are your? Can I have some fishing spears?
So yeah, all right, you get there and like I said, it's about 4 o'clock when you get there. So you're lucky when you arrive. You do see someone who is slowly trying to put a little bit of order inside the inside this large shop, which has been separated into one half for wood stuff and the other half for metal stuff. So are you all there, or it's just Fisher going there?
Oh, we'd all go, probably.
All right.
There's no reason to not all go.
Yeah.
All right. So you enter and you ask if there's fishing equipment for like spears and all. And you see human, not too young, not too old. Just yeah. And he looks at audience and Anvara. Is it for you?
I'll take a spear.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see. What do I have? And goes behind just a small wooden panel. And,
Something that makes it's not super hard to stab with underwater.
No, I get it. Well, yeah, I have something. I hear this one's a bit for larger fish, and it does look sort of like a harpoon. So I got this one. This is probably the best thing I have right now. As far as spear, well, I'd say you're lucky in your unluckiness. We do have a hunter who brought in his spear to be repaired. The tip of it is a bit jagged, but it's still mostly functional. I'd say you just don't try to use it as a projectile. It's probably not going to be very efficient at piercing. And he looks at all of you, something armored. But if you are trying to stab something, probably better. But that's all I have for now.
Alright.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Wouldn't
Alright.
happen to have a harpoon launcher, would you?
Hey, what?
he had him a harpoon, and crossbows exist.
Yeah, but it's a person living near a lake, not living near the ocean.
That harpoon is your arm. Or launcher that's your arm.
We don't gain anything for not asking, you know?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And are you really going to complain about me throwing ideas for once?
No. Alright. How much would that be? For is it so? There's the jagged spear and the harpoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. He has two. So basically, the spear, because it's slightly damaged, if you use it as a thrown weapon, I'm gonna give you a disadvantage to hit. But if you use it as a melee weapon, it's gonna be fine. The spear, he's asking for 8 silver because it's slightly damaged, and he does want it back after because it belongs to a hunter. I'm gonna loan it to you for 8 silver. If you bring it back, I'll bring it back in one piece. I'll just give you back your money. If not, I'll keep the money. For the harpoon, well, it's a bit of a more specialized equipment. So, how about 2 gold?
Jeez. All right. I'll grab 3.
I'll give. Which one of us are paid? Do we all do the thing where we all hand out money at the same time? Try and look good.
You all give 2 gold, and you hear him say, 3 gold, maybe?
It's like all of you are on a collective date
Mhm.
together, and you're but all insisting
All right.
that you take.
I'll take 1 gold back. I'll put 1 gold down. I feel like I
Is
paid for
this
both right
functionally like a javelin, or
Yeah, it's a. I took a price between trident and javelin.
uh-huh.
Okay.
'Cause it's-
Stat block for the javelin or trident?
Yeah, go with the javelin.
Okay.
You know what? Why don't? Because we don't want to. I don't know. Take something that belongs to somebody else. Why don't we just take the harpoon? Because I mean,
Yeah.
Anvara, you said you already have.
A
Yeah.
You
spear
have
and
what?
a short sword.
You have a short sword and a spear.
Yeah.
And then so we just need one more, right?
Randy has daggers, so we're
Because I
fine.
can take the spear, and then audience, if you want the harpoon.
Yeah. I actually want the short sword, so I can use the shield.
Well, you can use a spear
Yeah.
or a harpoon with.
Can you? I don't know.
It's the same die
Ah,
size.
I see.
as
Alright.
the short
Then
sword.
I will take one of them. I really don't care.
We'll just take the harpoon off of him.
Yeah. I
Alright.
give 1 gold. Who's paying for the other gold?
I'll give it.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck hunting. I assume you're going on the lake, so good luck hunting whatever's needs to be
Flipping
hunted.
boats.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
Well,
be wishing luck to us. You should be wishing luck to it. And then I'll
no,
walk
I
out.
actually want this to end. So
He is,
Tried to say a
very,
badass line.
very confident in his abilities.
One was trying to be a badass. One was trying to be very practical.
Yeah.
that made a
I will
practical
say
ass.
thank you and leave.
Yeah, sure. Good. Oh, all right. Come back alive.
Yep.
He lets you go. All right. So you now have a javelin repurposed as a harpoon. It's made to go in underwater.
Which one am I being handed? I'll take.
If you want the harpoon,
So I'm taking a
Is-
javelin.
yeah,
Okay.
Alright.
I won't be using a shield probably. So
All right. Then yeah, I will take a javelin, I guess.
Okay. So I guess audience has like the javelin in hand, so like just handling it a bit, trying to get a feel for a weapon he doesn't carry around all that much.
Yeah.
He's
I'll-
still a martial class. You know, it doesn't take him very long to figure out the balance of it and start doing things which you look at and fuck you.
I'll just untie my short sword from my scabbard. Like, would you be more comfortable with this kind of weaponry?
No, I'm good. I like the
Alright,
javelin.
Soften, just soften.
I trained with these quite a lot as a kid with my father.
Ooh, exposition.
then, yeah. Then if I could have the spear, and we should start heading back.
All right, I'll hand the spear to Fisher.
All right. So you all go back to the cart, and you slowly make your way back to the edge of the lake. Remy, it did take quite a while for your familiar to come back. Maybe a good almost 2 hours, an hour and 3/4. And when he comes back, as soon as he enters back into perception range. You sort of have the impression, oh, okay, he's still alive and he's swimming back. The impressions that he shares with you, however, are a bit hard to interpret. Good lord, it feels like I'm missing a word in that sentence. But
Gets the image of dinosaur.
you know, it's
And something about a rose and is it a balloon?
yeah, because you know. So as he comes back and he starts sharing what he saw and felt, first you get this feeling of, I found a dead body.
Awesome.
And then you get a feeling of, I found a large piece of metal, which I couldn't bring back. And the last feeling is, it stinks of magic down here.
Oof.
Amazing.
We're in it now, boys.
First combat.
The last thing you feel, it's not something he says, but you do have the feeling that he just came out of a place which made his skin crawl. He didn't like it. You know,
Actually, literally beckons them over and just starts like comforting it.
he comes back.
Just some comforting hugs.
Yeah, because comforting hugs with an octopus is always very straightforward. And this is exactly what you all see when you get back. You arrive right when Remy just hugs gently the octopus, and you see the two tentacles coming up and giving him a hug on his shoulder, and you see two other tentacles going under his arms, and you find a bird hugging a octopus, and the octopus is hugging back the bird. And Fisher, you hear Terranad say, maybe we're interrupting something.
Well, definitely one of the weirder things I've seen. Did he find
He always wears
anything?
his feelings on his sleeve. Oh, Randy looks up and waves you over.
We will walk over.
We will indeed.
Although I will ask though, is Diddling capable of giving any descriptors of the dead body they found?
It wasn't that fresh. There was quite a bit missing, but felt like it'd been ripped off by normal bottom lake feeders. So it's been a few days. Nothing felt magical about him in the sense that didn't have anything which looked magical on him. He think it's in him, but there were bits and pieces missing, so it's not sure. From the ripped clothes, it does feel like the person was wearing a crude robe. And he had a curved dagger with him.
And similarly, like, was it able to discern the? What is it able? Is it able to describe the metal object it found with any descriptors, simple or otherwise?
It was heavy. There were some grooves on it. Felt like something that had been damaged in battle. And it was thick. But it just looked like a piece of metal that had been ripped out of something.
Okay. So he's going to, I guess, like, look to the party, and he'll say, like, all right, where's the dead body and where do we gotta bury it?
I'll turn to the other two and say, "Did you guys kill somebody?"
Yeah. No.
And Raimi points out toward the lake.
I think he means there's a dead body in the lake.
That would make more sense. I don't know. Without me, I kind of assumed y'all kind of.
What? Went on a rampage?
I don't know. Y'all just came back with a boat, and we're gonna just hop in the water and try and fight something.
Wait, is that not what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I still feel like we should try and fight it outside the water if possible.
We've tried scouting the outsides of the lake. It doesn't seem interested in coming out unless it has an incentive to, like, a living being, which is, I think we just end up at the same impasse either way. Like, we will want to fight it on the shores, but it'll have no desire to do so, really. We gotta take the fight home.
I mean, I guess Raimi did ding-a-ling find anything else down there?
Raimi nods, and he makes a sound with his beak, like the scraping sound of metal, like metal on metal scraping sound.
Fisher, you're wondering if he's insulting you in the language of construct.
I wouldn't know. I can't speak it anymore.
That's why I say you're wondering.
Like, what? I'm assuming that something metal. What kind of metal?
Raimi nods.
Like nice metal? Or like scrap?
So, thinks a moment, just like, that's a big motherfucker.
I have a plan.
You see, I'm thinking, like, usually they're here for something, right? And so I don't know. Maybe it's guarding something in the water, like a big hunk of metal or a dead body. And so if we go try and get it and get out, it will follow us.
All right.
So
And
Whether
Raimi's
we'll
going
actually be able
point
to
towards
get
the
out
lake.
with it, it will be,
I
Audience
think.
will speak up. Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was about to say. I think audience had something to add here.
Oh, I say, well, Fisher, you can breathe underwater, right?
No.
Oh, can you not?
No, I can't.
He just doesn't, dude.
Audience takes a under and then figures it out.
I
and then
also
it'll be-
can't breathe right now.
And then he'll be like, well, anyway, if we all take a rope on the boat, we can lower you down. You can grab whatever it is, and then we pull you back up while dropping down light rocks so you're able to see.
I mean, Terranad can cast light. I mean, additional ones would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just scatter them in the area, and then we'll lower you down, and then I'll pull you back up.
Okay. I mean, do we have enough rope?
Yeah, I have 50 feet.
Got another 50.
I guess
I don't know how
have-
deep the lake is.
I guess I have 100 because I've got my fancy silk one and my regular.
Remy, do you have any rope?
Raimi's going to first look down to his friend and sort of like communicate the idea of depth, question mark.
He communicates with you the idea of a cliff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we still have like 200. We have like 200 feet of rope. Like, we can still maybe do a cliff.
Remy, since it's your familiar and so you're sort of linked to it, it does feel like there is a sharp drop at some point.
Mhm.
You just gotta pull the plug and drain the lake.
Yep. Nope. We're going straight into the water plane.
I
It's
mean,
like,
we
well-
have a choice now.
Well, Raimi is going to communicate two pieces of information the best he can, and maybe you'll get this
Let's
understanding
go.
of a warning. So, Raimi is going to, in fact, minor illusion a cliff and point to the lake. And then he's going to... what would be the best way to do that? He does a bunch of magically sparkles around him. Not a rainbow, magically sparkles, and then also points back at the lake.
I'm gonna have to roll intelligence for this one.
I mean, with my background, I'm assuming I would know that, underwater trenches are a thing. But
Yeah.
it's still weird to have something like that in the lake, right?
Well, there are different things. Yes, in the ocean there are definitely trenches which can appear. You know that sometimes lakes can be the result of a underground lake who spilled up. So there can be small crevasses in the middle of lakes, which suddenly drops for a while. It's uncommon, but possible. One thing that doesn't fit the description with that is Raimi making sparkles around him and a crevasse. There usually aren't sparkle in the crevasse of a lake. In the ocean, you've heard about creatures which are phosphorescent or fluorescent underwater, but not in a lake. At least very rarely in a lake.
Raimi, with those little sparkle things, are you trying to say it's like there are little lights and shiny things down there? Or are you trying to say there's something magical about it?
He just like nods the entire time.
Both?
Nods again.
Okay. Yes, 200 feet might not be enough. However, that doesn't mean we couldn't try and then, come back with a different plan if it doesn't go far enough.
I still think we have more than 200, right? Because if Remy is 50 feet, we should have 250. If you have 100.
Well, you do lose a few. You do lose a few feet when you tie all the ropes together.
That's true.
But
so we probably have around 100, like 220, 230, which is a lot. But
yeah, there are some streets who are shorter than this. So
Okay.
I think we might as well try. I mean, and if it's not enough, we can go back and get more.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
We set the boat in the water and
Head out.
How many people can fit on that boat?
it's a fishing
good
boat.
question.
You could probably easily put 4 people in it. 6 might be pushing it.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So we're fine. I just won't summon our tree. I won't be able to fit.
Yeah.
I'd say-
Raimi, if you wanna.
I'd say it could probably your Orunak could probably fit in the boat, but you do have to think about Fisher isn't a light fellow. Neither is Audience.
Yeah.
We don't need to capsize the boat. I think other things will do that for us. Let's leave ourselves a little space to actually maneuver in the boat instead of packed in like a can of sardines waiting to be eaten.
Here's an idea. Why don't we just not quite set off from the shore yet? Raimi, if you want to help me tie all these ropes together.
I guess Raimi pulls up his literal sleeves and
Start
sets to work, I guess.
holes.
Yeah. We'll start tying ropes together.
Since there's 2 of you, I'd allow you to make a intelligence roll with advantage. Because it's really technical use. You're not being pressed for time. You don't have to do this quickly. So you can just take your time and make this very academically. Here and here and there. All right. So intelligence with advantage. You can choose who makes the roll.
Sleight of hand with intelligence?
No, like I said, sleight of hand would be to untie them or do this rapidly. But if you're just going very at a normal pace, it's basic knowledge. It's just, okay, you put this here, this here,
I'll
this
do it.
here.
It's just It's just we did it last session that way, so that's why I would ask first.
Yeah, I think the sleight of hand was to get out of it. It was an option.
Well, I got a 19, so
Okay.
I think we're good. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm just recording it down, and if something happens, 19 is the DC for whatever happens. So
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you're pretty sure you had made a really good job.
And then the last, or yeah, I guess one end of it will be tied to me. I guess just like around the chest under the armpits. So if I need to be hoisted up, that kind of seems like
Right.
best way to go. Yeah, and then I'll say, maybe just so that, we can, might help if instead of just heading out into the middle and then just hopping in, if I just kind of start here and walk in, and y'all just keep it kind of tether.
We'd lose a lot of rope doing it that way, though.
And you're not going to be able to get that far. The lake itself is the equivalent of half a day of walk to get from one side to the other.
Okay.
So it's basically 2 hours if you just want to walk the bottom of it and get to the center. You're quickly going to run out of feet in your ropes.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind then. All right. Yep. Well, I mean, yeah, I was thinking everybody else in the boat above me.
Ah, right.
I just walking in instead of. But if it's really big, yeah, we might as well. Yeah, I guess I'll hop in the boat and steer it out into Raimi. Where am I going?
So Raimi will set his friend back into the water and communicate direct.
And
Also, another question.
Yes.
Was the body and the metal at the same spot?
From what you gather, Raimi, close anyway.
Okay. Then,
Yeah, just like
yeah.
they like pinches like two talons together.
Okay. Yeah. What am I following?
All right. So yeah,
Bell
you see
sound.
you see an octopus just moving away.
All right. I will follow it.
And although you did see Remy hug the octopus when you got back, you know that octopus usually aren't in lakes, so it's most likely his thing.
I know how familiars work. I was thinking about getting my own.
Oh, that would have been interesting, but don't you already have one?
Oh, I'm
already
sure
have a
you
friend.
would love that
They're
idea.
always with you.
Familiar.
Although that could be interesting. Whenever you summon your familiar, Taranad takes over the familiar. Oh, the fun of it. Okay, so you get into the lake. It does take a while, but slowly you make your way. So right now you look around and you're getting close to sunset. It's about 5:30. Most of the sun is gone. You're still not. The sun still hasn't started to set yet, so the sky isn't red and orange yet. But
There we go.
it's at that strange moment where the light has started to fade
down.
without changing colors. So you rowed toward the center of the lake, or close to it anyway. So
Oh,
for
450?
I'm hearing someone
fine.
else talk. Okay. Um,
Well, it's actually probably.
so you keep on going, and for the first 10 minutes, you don't see anything around you. Keep going for another 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sorry, I just said 20 minutes. 30 minutes. 40 minutes. 15 minutes. Starting to be a bit of a long boat ride. But you're almost a quarter of the way inside, and alright, starting to get a bit tired. You think you're about there. The sun's starting to creep down. It's almost 7 o'clock, and right when you get to about an hour, right, the octopus starts to slow down, and it goes back toward the boat and start swimming around the boat and stops.
All right.
Remy, you do not have the feeling that you are there yet. It is not why he is stopping. He is afraid.
Oh. Poor thing.
Ramy, we here yet? Is it just me, or can nobody hear him?
I can't hear him.
Oh, sorry. I thought I
There
saw.
we
I thought I pressed it, but apparently I didn't.
All right.
It's like he looks to the others and says, "Watch your backs, men."
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
And I guess at that point, Raimi is going to try to perceive if there is something around them. Specifically, looking for unfortunate water shimmerings.
Then make a perception roll. And anyone who would like to do the same thing can also do a perception roll.
I'm gonna pull out Oranek twig from my bag and cast light on it.
Okay.
It's a 19.
Okay. Fisher?
13, 15 with Ternad.
Okay. Audience?
10.
Ooh. Well, you're keeping with tradition. Audience, you look around. There's a lot of water. Anvara, you light up the twig that you just took out of your backpack.
All right. I'll just place it on the water, let it float around a bit, help us see a bit further down.
Okay. So you see this illuminated twig drifting off slowly. Fisher, you don't perceive anything, but Taranad does say at one point something moved over there. When you look, however, you just see this odd bulging of water without making ripples, but it lasts for half a second. Remy, you look in the water, and for a moment, feels like the water's looking at you. But it only lasts maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And you have the feeling that it's slowly drifting toward the illuminated branch, drifting away.
So Raimi is going to... Yeah, Raimi is going to show caution, like facing his body toward the branch, and holds a dagger in one hand. The dagger in one hand.
Okay.
And he's preparing, he's preparing an action. If they are attacked, he will respond in kind.
Okay.
Well, it's here. You guys think I should try talking to it again?
Has talking to it been effective in the past? Is it receptive to you?
Well, last time it told me to leave and then got angry.
Alright, it already fucking hates you. Yes.
Well, we didn't leave, so probably we should just keep going and hopefully it will ignore us.
Maybe I drew it away and we'll have a bit more time.
Okay. Is this not the spot we're supposed to stop?
Raimi, still looking toward the branch, shakes his head.
Okay.
Let's keep going then.
Can your friend... Is he good to keep going? See if we can...
He's not
just
terrified,
scoot by.
but he's still scared.
It's like Raimi will nod, but again, not quite taking his eyes off. He will communicate direct, careful.
Okay. So,
At this point, my short sword is out.
reluctantly, you see the octopus move around where the around away from the branch, slowly floating away, giving it a sizable distance. And so you start moving, and suddenly the lake feels eerily quiet. It feels... and there's
That's
a
not
music
eerily quiet.
coming from far away.
A man with a mandolin.
Monsters playing music. Alright, so the lake feels eerily quiet at this moment, and you do hear movement in the water without it leaving ripples. It is very close to you.
Keep going. It hasn't attacked us yet.
Alright. You start rowing again, and
I am gonna ready my weapon though.
As I'm rowing, I'm going to say in Primordial...
I love you.
we don't want to fight you. And we'd prefer that you not flip our boat over.
Just as you say this, you do feel a slight nudge on the boat.
Oh, fuck.
And I'd say, hold on. Well, actually, no, you're all... Huh. How are you placed in the boat? There are 4 places. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
The front being here. Who's here?
I'd be at the front, probably.
So one of those 2?
I'm steering. Is it like a single person row or
Sort of like I keep forgetting what it's called in English. In French, chaloupe, but it's really very similar to a rowboat, wide enough for 4 people to be sitting at each corner, and usually some piece of equipment at the center, usually where people will place their ice box or things like this. It's made of wood, not metal.
Okay.
I mean,
Is
Raimi
this
would
like-
probably be at the front because he's trying his best to direct.
Yeah, and if you're rowing, probably you would have to be at the front. So probably
No.
instead of
Then I'd
being
be at
like
the
this,
back, probably.
it might be like this
Uh-huh.
or like this. So audience would be one of those 2. Who's with audience at the front?
If that's where you'd be to row, I'm assuming I'm been the one driving the boat.
Either way, if you think you should be rowing at the front, because there's an argument which can be made for both rowing at the front and at the back. So if you think you should
Okay,
be rowing
yeah.
at the front, people on the boat are going to look like this. If it's at the back, it's going to be like this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be at the front. Yeah, with audience.
All right, so if you're rowing at the front, this would mean that you're here, audience is here, Raimi and Anvara are at the back here.
All right.
Keto?
Who's where between
Right.
the 2 of you? Anvara and Raimi.
I'll be on the thumb side of the boat.
Okay. So the nudge happened at the front of the boat.
Okay.
Anvara readies a level 2 guiding bolt for us.
Audience grips his spear.
I am going to cast light on the, or have Taranad cast light on the end of the oar I am currently using.
Okay. All right. The oar lights up. Is it drawn toward you in the boat as you do this? Or are you just casting it as it is, just maybe hovering above water?
I cast it, yeah, well, it's like above the water, and then I'm gonna put it back into the water.
All right.
As like a testing poke. Is that water? Is that angry water?
Well, you let the oar fall back into the water, and immediately something pulls on it very hard.
Oh, fuck.
Do you let it go, or do you
Uh,
resist?
I'm gonna try and hold on to it.
Make a
You're
strength.
gonna capsize us.
Make a strength roll. Athletic, if you have it.
16.
Here we go. You try to resist, and I'm gonna ask you to make a dexterity save because it is pulling with so much more force than you are. You're almost taken out of the boat.
Oh, nice. That's a 9.
Then everyone, you see Fisher lowers the the oar inside the water, and then you see it tug, and you resist for a moment, and then you see him disappear in the water.
Oh, let's
Wow.
go.
Are we
We roll-
rolling for initiative? Or-
You can, but you don't know where that is.
Well, we still see the ore and. Well, we see the
You
ore
could
mostly.
target the ore, of course.
Am I gonna target an ore attached to my friend with a level 2 guiding bolt?
If you all decide to fire or attack, yes, then everyone rolls for initiative.
I am gonna stab the water when I see him go down. So
Or maybe I have just looked at the time.
Oh my god.
Maybe this episode should end as Fisher is being pulled in the water.
Oh man.
Noise.
probably should. I do have a 5 a.m. class tomorrow, but
Yeah, no, I feel like this is something that would go on for a while and not
Yes.
actually end yet.
So
What do you mean?
I thought we
What if
were
I take
20
my
minutes
time?
earlier. But when I looked at the times, oh, all right. Well, this episode end as you see Fisher lowers the oar in the water, get pulled, and then you see him lose his balance and disappear in the water. And yes, you are all left there. What to do? There is to be continued.
Do 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 do.
Man, it would really suck if I had to breathe.
yeah,
Yeah, because you know a lot of water elemental creature try and drown their victims. So, man, can't do that with you.
the rest of us, however.
Yeah. The rest of you do have a nasty addiction to oxygen.
I'm about to lightning breath the entire lake.
Yes, the superconductive member of our party is going to appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd probably just make
I'm
a
just
bit
like a
of...
lightning rod into the elemental.
exactly.
Shit.
Cause I'm addicted to you.
Focus
Yes,
it.
I need oxygen.
I mean, dude, that'd be a pretty sick combo play. Because I could absorb elements
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
then hit it with more lightning.
Yeah, because nothing bad ever happened when you throw electricity in water. It's
Yeah,
not.
no,
It's
I don't know
not
what
like
you're
it's
talking
gonna turn this into an area of effect, you know.
Tune in next week. Turn our fighter into a Tesla cannon.
All right. Well, it does appear like the next session is going to start with a fight.
All right.
So, thank you all for watching. We hope we will see you again next Wednesday when a fight will occur, most likely on water, with only one party member and not affected by the lack of oxygen, and with everyone having limited supplies to attack creature living in water. This is bound to be interesting. So, thank you for watching. As always, it is a pleasure to have you with us. And of course, if you enjoy the stream, please support it. You can follow us with Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also support us by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, or simply making sure that there's a lot of people there for next game's fight by spreading the word, sharing this channel. And so, thank you very much for being there. See you next Wednesday. Have fun for the rest of the week. Stay safe, and as always, especially in those times, stay healthy. Bye.
But
Ciao, night.